All right. I don't normally go live on Saturdays, but I'm putting in some calls now. Thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and hop on. Right now, we're on Litecoin versus the United States dollar. So there's our first call. It's Litecoin versus the United States dollar. It's a 15-minute confirmation. Hold on, let me get on Twitter and make sure they're taken care of as well. There we go. 15-minute sell. Your entry price is going to be 83.95. Your stop loss is going to be 84.60 for 65 pips. And your take profit is going to be 81.80 for 215 pips, with a risk to reward ratio of 3.31. Again, that is Litecoin versus the United States dollar. That is a crypto spot. We're moving on. We've got Litecoin versus Tether. Gonna take that on a sell to 81.80. Let me hop in this one myself. One sec. $1.80. This is a short. Let's grab the parameters for this. I'll get this out shortly. All right. And we've got Litecoin versus Tether on a 15-minute sell. Got a risk of 2.82. Entry at 83.83. Stop is going to be 84.55. And we've got take profit at 81.80. All right, so here's the call for Twitter, the call for Instagram. Oops. And then a call for YouTube. And we got Litecoin versus Tether. It's a 15-minute confirmation. Your entry price is going to be 83.83. Your stop loss is going to be 84.55 for 72 pips. Your take profit is going to be 81.80 for 203 pips. And the risk to reward ratio of 2.82. Again, that's Litecoin versus Tether. That's a crypto perpetual trade. You can find it on Liquid Brokers and on BTCC. All right, let's take a look at ICP. That already hit take profit, so we're not bothering with that. We've got an entry in an OG, targeting 11.209. I believe this is OG fan. Let me hop in that myself. All right. So it's going to be OG fan versus Tether. This is a 30-minute confirmation. Risk to reward is going to be 3.33. We've got entry at 11.811. Got stop at 11.992. And we've got take profit at 11.209. All right, here's the call for Twitter. The call for Instagram. And the call for YouTube. We've got OG fan on a 30-minute confirmation. This is a sell. Your entry price is going to be 11.811. Your stop loss is going to be 11.992. That's for 181 pips. Your take profit is going to be 11.209 for 602 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.33. Again, that's OG fan versus Tether. You can find that on BTCC. All right. We're already in FF, and it looks like that hit take profit. We're in a larger trade that's almost a take profit. It's probably going to take several more hours to hit, but the trade that it called intra did hit take profit. All right, we got a re-entry on TIA versus Tether. We can take that, targeting 0.588. Let me hop in this real quick. Beautiful. All right. And we've got TIA versus Tether, this time on a 15-minute confirmation. Our risk is going to be 4.45. We've got entry at 0.637. We've got stop at 0.648. And we've got take profit at 0.588. All right, here's your call for Twitter. Here's your call for Instagram. And the call for YouTube. TIA versus Tether is the 15-minute sell. Entry price is 0.637. Stop loss is 0.648 for 11 pips. Take profit is 0.588 for 49 pips. And here we have a risk to reward ratio of 4.45. Also, should keep this up. You're going to find that on liquid brokers and BTCC. Let's move on. All right, we got rare versus tether. Rare versus tether, targeting 0.0228. Hop in this real quick. Okay. And we've got rare versus tether, this time on a 30-minute confirmation. Risk to reward is going to be 3.63. We've got entry at 0.0257. We've got stop at 0.0265. And we've got stop at 0.0228. It's the calls for Telegram, the call for Twitter, the call for Instagram, and the call for YouTube. Got rare versus tether, 30-minute sell. Entry price is 0.0257. Stop loss is 0.0265 for 8 pips. Take profit is 0.0228 for 29 pips. And the risk to reward ratio is 3.63. Welcome to the audience coming from Nemo TV from Southeast Asia. I see you guys. I just got started. I normally don't do this on a Saturday, but the opportunity presented itself, but I figured why not? All right, so we're already in FF. It's called out another sell. Obviously, that original trade is going to hit take profit, so I'm not going to call it in the middle of that call. That's crazy. We just called OG Fan. We know about that one. This is a reconfirmation on the one. Hold on. Rig is sticking. So theoretically, if you want to take that a little bit further and go all the way down to 10,696, you could. We're just going to take this little pippage and get our money and be done for the weekend. All right, we got Wi-Fi versus Tether. This is a Yearn Finance. And we're going to take that on a sell of $38.95. Let me hop in this real quick. Okie dokie. Now, all right. Yearn Finance versus Tether. This is YFI. This is a 60-minute confirmation sell. Risk is going to be 5.00. We've got entry at 41.25. You've got stop at 41.71. And we've got take profit at 38.95. And here's the call for Telegram, the call for Twitter, the call for Instagram, and the call for YouTube. Yearn Finance versus Tether. This is a 60-minute sell. Your entry price is 41.25 even. Your stop loss is 41.71 even. Your take profit is 38.95 even. And the risk reward is 5.00. Again, that's Yearn Finance versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. You can find it on Liquid Brokers and BTCC. All right, we got take profit. Well, we got stop loss hit on augmented reality, so that's an invalidated trade. We're already in rare, but this is a 1 hour confirmation, so you could take it further to 0.0219. I would recommend you just stick with the 30-minute confirm. It's going to hit both, but get your money and get out of the trade. We got take profit smashed on API 3 versus Tether. We have a stop loss hit on an intra trade on Edu versus Tether. We're not going to re-enter. We have a stop loss hit on Zero versus Tether. We have a stop loss hit on KMNO versus Tether. Have a stop loss hit on Bitcoin Cash versus Tether. Have a stop loss hit on Zero versus Tether. We looked at augmented reality already. We have a take profit hit on Dusk versus Tether. Have a take profit smash on Internet Protocol versus Tether. We're already in this on 0G, and the intra call is too far. It's 50% on the way to take profit, so we're not going to call that. We looked at KMNO already. This is Theta Fuel, take profit smashed. We have ILV. We can enter that on a sell targeting 7.32. Let me copy this myself. ILV. 7.32 on a short. Beautiful. Let's get these parameters out real quick. Oops. There we go. So this is ILV on a 15-minute sell. We got a risk of 3.50. We got an entry at 7.53. We have stop at 7.59. And we've got take profit at 7.32. And here's the call for Telegram, the call for Twitter, the call for Instagram, and the call for YouTube. ILV versus Tether. This is a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 7.53. Your stop loss is 7.59 for 6 pips. Your take profit is 7.32 for 21 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.50. Again, that's ILV versus Tether. You can find that on BTCC. Next up, we got B versus Tether. It's about 45% of the way to take profit. Too late to enter. Not going to bother with that one. but that will hit take profit. All right, got HMSTR, same thing, but this time more than 50% of the way to take profit. We won't be entering that trade. You've got GOAT versus Tether. We can enter this, entering 0.03895. We'll take that from current price. Let me hop in this one as well. $0.03895 on a short. Perfect. All right. It's going to be GOAT versus Tether. 15-minute sell. We've got 5.50 as the risk. Entry at 0.04060. Stop at 0.04090. And take profit at 0.03895. All right. That's the call for Telegram, and for Twitter, and for Instagram, and for YouTube. We've got GOAT versus Tether. This is a 15-minute sell. Entry price is 0.04060. Stop loss is 0.04090 for 30 pips. Take profit is 0.03895 for 165 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 5.50. Again, that is GOAT versus Tether. You can find that on Liquid Brokers and BTCC. We looked at TIA and we entered that on an advanced entry. It's going to hit stop loss. We're not going to enter this trade. It's a counter trade on Ethereum Finance. It's just not worth getting in. We looked at B versus Tether already, I think. No, we didn't. Okay, this we're going to take on a sell to 1403. Give ourselves a little bit more room. Let me hop in this. Give me 1403 on a sell. Just don't want me to be great today. All right. B versus Tether. This is a 30-minute confirmation. We've got a risk of 4.12. Entry at 1539. Stop at 1572. And take profit at 1403. 136. All right, here is the call for Telegram. Call for Twitter. Call for Instagram. And the call for YouTube. Got B, USTD. That's B versus Tether. So 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.1539. Stop loss is 0.1572 for 33 pips. Take profit is 0.1403 for 136 pips. The risk reward ratio of 4.12. Again, that's B versus Tether. You can find that on BTCC. We looked at TIA. Again, we're in that on an advanced entry. Okay, we got Arbitum versus Tether. We can take that on a sell to 2120. Yeah, I'm in this myself as well. $21.20. Perfect. And we've got Arbitum versus Tether on a 15-minute sell. Risk is 3.00. We've got entry at 21.53. We've got stop at 21.64. And we've got take profit at 21.20. It's the call for Telegram and for Twitter and for Instagram and for YouTube. All right, we've got Arbitum versus Tether on a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 0.2153. Stop loss is 0.2164 for 11 pips. Take profit is 0.2120 for 33 pips. And the risk to reward ratio of 3.00. And you can find that on BTCC. And we're already in FF. The interim trade hit take profit. The big trade we've been in for quite some time. As you can see, it's moved and moved and moved and moved on us. When did we first enter this? At 2 a.m. last Monday. And it's gone quite a ways. All right, so with that being said, I'm done for the moment. We can take a look at Bitcoin and see the fundamentals that are going on here. Kind of see what I can see. One moment. All right, so Bitcoin's down 44 points. Let's go ahead and cut off the Elliott wave, put on our order blocks and go up to the daily. All right, we got a significant sell order block, which is resistance to price going higher at about 93,300. But liquidity is below current price. So we're still in a downtrend on Bitcoin. And this is still close enough to go and grab this liquidity. So there's liquidity sitting at 82,300. Again at 76,300. And again at 71,000. So it is still conceivable that Bitcoin will reverse and go and snatch all of that. It's less likely that Bitcoin will rise and bounce off of this order block than go and snatch liquidity. That's what it's been doing for weeks. And you have a golden cross on daily anyway. So this is a downtrend, unlikely to reverse itself. You go to the weekly, you can see it even more pronounced. So that's the buys at the moment. Bitcoin is definitely a sell. Let's check out altcoins. Generally, what you want to see is a decline in Bitcoin price. Bitcoin's been relatively flat today. A decline in Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is up a little. And then an increase in Ethereum over Bitcoin. In other words, Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. Why? Because Ethereum is the number one cryptocurrency used as gas to purchase altcoins. So when you have a decline in Bitcoin price followed by a decline in Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin, you normally see a run on all coins. And we're not seeing any of that at the moment. Which leads us to the last part of what we can look at. Let's go to crypto bubbles and see where the money's going. All right, so this is a market cap for the day. Bitcoin's relatively flat. Money's flowing out of Ethereum. Where's the money going, though? Doesn't look like the money's really going anywhere, to be honest. At least not today. Looks like for the most part, people just taking money out of the market. So we're probably looking at a rough start to the crypto market for next week. If there's cash outflows from the market proper, that's normally bad in the short term for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So that's where we stand at the moment. That's it for me for right now. If we do have any other calls, I may go live again, but we exhausted all the ones that I had in queue. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll catch you guys later. The next time I'll have an actual live will be from London at 2 a.m. in the morning on Monday. So I'll see you guys then. If I don't see you sooner, it'll be a shorter session like this, 30, 45 minutes tops, where we're clearing out alerts. Cheers.